What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be looking at a safe team that got me from the 2500s to the mid 2900s and hopefully legends soon. The team consists of a Lickitung lead, a Gligar safe switch, and Annihilape close. There are a couple core breakers for this team, but I'll try to go over those throughout the video and show you how I play those out. One thing I will say is that if you don't have these Pokemon, I wouldn't build them to replicate this team. While the team is super strong and safe right now, next season all three of these mons are getting nerfed. So definitely use this team while you have it during the season if you have these Pokemon built, because right now it is super strong, but next season it's going to be a totally different story. But enough chit chat, let's just get right into the video. Okay, first up, we've got an Annihilape lead. So this is tough for the team because obviously we can't come in Gligar because that's our hard answer, and we have an Annihilape in the back which would always be one turn behind their Annihilape. So we have to stay in this matchup. But what does that mean for Lickitung? Lickitung actually wins the ones if you bait a Body Slam and they shield it. So you build up to the Power Whip, you bait the Body Slam. They know this, that if you land a Power Whip, that you can flip this matchup. So bait with the Power Whip and bait with the Body Slam, and then land the Power Whip. And if they let this go, Lickitung would win the ones. But we actually grab both shields right off the bat, which is also fine. We know they're going to have a Gligar answer in the back, because how would they not with a team with an Annihilape on the lead? So we're letting everything go here. They, for some reason, go for a Night Slash bait, which just means they're going to go for double Night Slash, thinking I was going to shield one of them. They come in with Dugong. This is a team that you'll recognize all the time. It's Annihilape, Dugong, and usually a Bastiodon or a Sand Slash in the back. And so, yeah, they come in with Annihilape and they just instantly quit. Next up, Skeledirge. This is actually a pretty neutral matchup, similar to the Annihilape. You have no charge moves that you can throw. Body Slam is double resisted. Power Whip is single resisted. So you are going to go straight Power Whip here. They can only throw Disarming Voice, and it's 3-2 to the Disarming Voice. So we get off that Power Whip, and if you let this go, I might shield it just to take switch, or am I going to let it go? I can survive it, and they actually snipe with a Seaking before we can get that off. So we're going to come in with Annihilape because Poison Jab is resisted on both of our back mons, but it has Icy Wind, yep, which would be double super effective on the Gligar. So we're going to come in with the Annihilape and get the Shadow Ball off right before they get to the next move. It should still take out from this range. Seaking, not the bulkiest mon. Don't see too many. I love Seaking. I want to use an XL1 for the Ultra League. They come in Skeledirge here, which tells me that they might be weak to this in the back. So I'm just going to fully counter down a Ghost type. It's actually just a Quagsire. We're baiting here with the Night Slash. We actually get the shield, which is huge, and we get the boost. So we're probably going to shield back, get in all of the extra counters that we can, and get off another Night Slash. So they're definitely going to shield this one, which means we can get another Night Slash off. So any chip is good here, and then we should come in Gligar. But it looks like I wanted to get the extra counters in. That probably wasn't necessary. I would have, looking back, I would have just insta-swapped after I got that Night Slash off into the Gligar, because now they actually, so they're at 8 Mudshots here, which means they're at back-to-back Aqua Tails, which means they could take me out, but I CNP tied them with the Aerial Ace on the first one. So just barely by 2 turns, 1 fast move, we win that because I didn't switch fast enough. Lickitung into Nidoqueen. Yeah, you are seeing some spicier picks from my opponents. I think people are just trying things towards the end of the season. We're getting off the Body Slam right before they get to the Earth Power. I'm always going to call the Poison Fang whether they go Earth Power or not, because I can survive an Earth Power from Nidoqueen. pretty comfortably, actually. And then we're going to get off the Body Slam before they would get to a Poison Fang. But yeah, this was in the like 2700s-ish. We actually let ourselves get farmed down, but that's fine because this energy goes absolutely nowhere on Gligar. Everything is resisted, so they're just going to go double Poison Fang, it looks like, which is probably the right play. Gligar is still in the green. We still have both shields. I'm going to reset that debuff. They come in with an Azumarill. Azumarill is really hard for the back two Mons, but with shields, this is actually a pretty comfortable matchup for the Annihilape. And they actually come in with Medicham, so we're full sending the Shadow Ball. We've already got shield advantage, and I do want to get the Night Slash off in case they're running Psychic, which they have now. And they shield, which tells me they've probably got Psychic because they want to get this off. And they do. Haven't seen a Medicham in a while. They come back in with the Azumarill. We're going to get off that Shadow Ball. And I'll be curious to see if I'll come in Gligar instantly or if I'm going to force them to throw. Okay, so we catch on our Gligar. Did we catch a Play Rough or was it an Ice Beam? We caught an Ice Beam. But that means they're going to be 5 from their next, and we just barely outpaced to the Shadow Ball. So it's a good catch and a good win. Next up, who do we have? Talonflame. Another Pokemon that beats all 3 of my Pokemon, at least in the Sims. Lickitung has a fairly neutral matchup here. If you time correctly, you should be able to get enough licks and a Body Slam to put them just barely in the yellow. But they do the same thing with Flame Charge, and then they ramp up. And they do potentially outpace. I don't know if I could have gotten that off before it would have been a CMP tie. But the reason I'm farming up here is because if they try and go for the Incinerate farm down, I'm going to be able to grab 2 shields back, which is exactly what happens. But now they are loaded with energy. I think, looking back, I should have come in Annihilape and just sacrificed it here, but I think I come in Gligar and shield and then just 1 shield farm down. So maybe that was the right play. Let's see what they've got in the back. A Feraligatr, which is tough for this team. And we actually do land the dig on it, but they are going to outpace me here before I can get to the Shadow Ball. It is just a Seed Bomb. I get off the Shadow Ball, but this will just give energy to the Feraligatr, who just farms me down, and they are literally 1 wing attack away from death, but they get off the Hydro, and we will lose that game. Yeah, so I think what I'm showcasing here is a 9-1 run that I had with the team. Another pretty good lead, Trevenant. There's nothing we can throw at them charge moves wise on Lickitung, but they know Shadow Plus resisted and Licks are super effective, so they get out of that matchup. And they come in with Wall Rain. This might have been an Annihilape bait out, especially with the Ghost on the lead and then something weak to fighting in the back. It's very likely a bait out. But Gligar and Annihilape have a lot of similar matchups, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable as it is right now. I should come back in with the Lickitung here, because that's what I'm reading now, but I think, I came in with the Gligar. There's no reason for this. They can only throw Seed Bombs at Lickitung. But yeah, it is Vigoroth in the back, and if I had a fully healthy Gligar on this instead of my half HP Gligar, where they and I could have had my Lickitung on the Trevenant, then this would have been a lot easier of a matchup. But They shield the dig. Clearly they're going to keep their Vigoroth alive. I should have known that because their win con now is this Vigoroth. I should definitely be shielding back. Yep. And I should get off this Aerial Ace before they get to the next Body Slam. So we've got some chip. That at least puts them into Body Slam range. They do catch on the Trevenant, but I'm going to go for a full undercharge here. Oh, I should probably have come in with Lickitung, farm that down, and had a Body Slam loaded. So I'm misplaying this all over the place. But they get off a Body Slam. That does nothing to Lickitung. This is a great matchup for Vigoroth, neutrally, when they've got even shields and even health. But with this much of a health advantage, it won't matter. We still take that win. But even with a lot of misplays on my part. Bastiodon. So we have two better answers in the back. So we're going to get into Gligar. They simul switch into Victory Bell, which just tells me that they are Grass Hole in the back. I end up... so in this matchup, you should be able to... If you throw and they don't, then they can just shield and fully farm you down. So that's why I wasn't throwing there. But then... I figured that they were going to throw and they got to the Acid Spray, so I CMP tied them with the Wing Attack. So I was able to get them really low and grab both shields, which is huge. Because my Lickitung has no play in this match, besides what's in the back. But I'm going to have a 2-shield advantage, so I'm going to farm up on Lickitung, make sure I have a lot of moves, and then I'm going to come in with... Annihilape, and they come in with a Razor Leaf Tropius, which is a little difficult because I'm not running Ice Punch, and Tropius is bulky, so I'm going to just be shielding everything here. Fortunately, Razor Leaf is a shit move for trying to generate energy. So we get off the next Shadow Ball, take it out. They're out of move, but I will shield this just because their farm down potential with Smackdown is low, and these super effective counters are going to tear through the Bastiodon. And we actually get off a Night Slash, get 3 more counters in, which is huge, and at this point they're in Power Whip range, so and no move is going to take me out from this range either. Oh, actually, just barely survived the Power Whip too. Alright, Whimsicott, another spicy lead. Usually a good core breaker for a lot of teams, but this is a pretty neutral matchup. Moonblast does do about 50%. Whimsicott is pretty attack weighted, especially in the Great League. Yep, so they do go Moonblast, does about 50%. But you'll notice that these licks are tearing through the Whimsicott, and they're actually lower than I am. And we do outpace to back-to-back moves there. So they're going to shield, and then I think I'm just going to let this go. Yeah, there's no reason for me to shield this here. They've got a lot of energy. Just come in Gligar, get the farm down. Just going to let this go. It'll hurt, but it's actually just a Seed Bomb. And they come in with a Water Gun Lantern. So I build up to the dig, and I bait with the Aerial Ace. Let's see if it lands. I grab the shield and save some energy, which is huge. They're staying in with the Water Gun Lantern. I've still got 2 shields, and I've got Annihilape, so I am willing to go on a run with Annihilape here. And I was expecting a catch, so I actually didn't throw the Shadow Ball when I got to it. Then they come in with Feraligatr, so I farm up right before they get to the Hydro Cannon, and then throw that Shadow Ball to take it out. At this point, I'm going to be able to outpace, and they know that. So they just resign the match. Galvantula. I did see a lot of spicy leads. This is cool. This is probably a positive matchup. Type neutral, but I'd imagine pretty neutral. It takes 3 and 3 for Galv to get to the moves, and they're just going to go straight lunge here because it debuffs my attack, and they actually survive that. So Calv wins the zeros, it looks like, which is pretty crazy. But we do shield and just fully farm that down, so we will take switch. And they come in with Bastiodon. This is a double debuffed Power Whip, so this is going to do absolutely nothing to Bastiodon, but I want to get my Annihilape on this, so I'm just going to let them farm me down. And it's a Poliwrath in the back, so my win con is actually just the Annihilape. I can try and grab both shields here if I want, or I can just let them Icy Wind me here. No, so I am going to shield, I'm going to get off that second Aerial Ace. Which, yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to grab both shields here, which is massive because we know that Annihilape should easily be able to take the even shields against the Bastiodon. They are going to get to a move here, so I have to CMP tie them with the Night Slash to take them out. It's resisted, but he's 1 HP. And yeah, one flamethrower is not going to take me out from that range, so they resign the match. I think this was a legend. Ooh, shiny Shadow Machamp. That's a flex, and will be really good next season. This is one of the ones where I come in Annihilape, just because they're less likely to have an answer for Annihilape than they are to Gligar. They're probably going to have a flyer answer in the back, whereas another fighter, maybe not. They come in with a Lantern after, I don't know if they were trying to bait me with that dark move, whatever it's called, I'm forgetting the name of, but they actually let me get to 2 Shadow Balls here. Maybe their counts were off, and they throw, just because they know I'm going to farm them down first, so they don't. So we will take that, we'll come in Lickitung, absorb any extra energy they have, and then we're going to come in Gligar to sweep, hopefully. We shall see. They're going to come in with that Machamp. They've got some energy. Payback, that's the dark move. We're actually going to throw a Body Slam here because it's so frail. See if we can grab a shield. We do. Come in with Gligar. They have Skarmory in the back, but so Skarmory is one of the few Pokemon that can beat Gligar. I think in any shield scenario. However, this is the Shadow. I don't know if that changed anything. But yeah, we're just going to throw these single resisted digs over and over. And they do end up deciding to take us out. So at this point, I'm thinking I can just farm this down with licks, shield anything, and then I'll come out with a Body Slam loaded, and there's nothing that Machamp can do. I have to save 1 shield for the Lickitung because they're at a cross chop, but they are probably not going to reach another move on that Skarmory. I think they were like maybe a Stealing or 2 away, and they're just going to get farmed down. Yeah, they were two Stealings away or something. So just barely take that win. This is a great lead for Lickitung, and they are not getting out, which is crazy. Yeah, Cofagrigus cannot stay in this matchup. Super effective licks and resisted Shadow Claws. All they have is Dark Pulse that they can throw, and that does absolutely nothing to Lickitung. We are going to throw the Power Whip before they get to their next Dark Pulse, and they let that go. I can still let this go, and I can get a full lick farm down. So, looking like a pretty good first match to start. Maybe they are core broken by the Lickitung, but unfortunately I'm also core broken. Skarmory is tough for this team, especially on the lead. So obviously Skarmory beats Lickitung and Gligar. Lickitung in the zeros, Gligar, any shield scenario. Annihilape actually beats Skarmory with shields, but I can't switch my only answer into the Skarmory matchup because they could just switch out and then I'd be screwed. Couldn't deal with it later. And then they come in with a Spark Lantern, so I should probably have gotten out immediately into my Gligar, but being down shields and energy is tough. I tried to catch a Thunderbolt on my Gligar. It doesn't work, but at this point I'm just going to fully sacrifice my Gligar, I'm expecting, because two Surfs will take me out, just about, I think, and then, but they're going to be energy dry after that, so it actually doesn't take me out, and I get off an Aerial Ace. They are low, so this might threaten a shield, and it does, and at this point I can just take any move here, because I think it's just the Surf, and I have to save a shield for this Skarmory, in case they get to a move, but they don't. So I just counter that down. But yeah, Skarmory on the lead, I usually will just play out, because Lickitung, you can actually shield once and farm down if they let your body slams go, which is massive, if they play it like poorly. So another Annihilape lead. We're staying in this matchup. You know what we do here. We go for the body slam bait right before they get to the second Night Slash. They shield it, which means now we are going to shield back and fight for switch. And barring a boost, we'll be able to make it to the Power Whip, throwing on good timing there. This one also double shields. Hopefully I didn't put in the same matchup. Probably going to come in Gligar. We know they're going to have an answer, so we're shielding nothing here. Oh, did the video restart? It did! Okay, that is the same match. So yeah, that's the team. Really strong team. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I wouldn't build any of these Pokemon if you don't have them, because next season Licky will be the new Lickitung pretty much, or Dunsparce. I'd recommend either of those normal types. In terms of flyers, maybe Jumpluff instead of Gligar. I've found that the Jumpluff Dunsparce core is actually really good. I used it actually in a season before they were buffed together with Lantern, and that team was really strong. It was a Jumpluff lead, Dunsparce safe switch, Lantern close, and that actually helped me through Legend. Like, I already hit Legend, and I continued to climb with that team in Legend, which was crazy. In terms of fighters next season, Annihilape, you're probably going to want maybe either Pangoro, Machamp, even Primeape. There's going to be a lot of options next season. Any Karate Chop user is going to be better than the counter users next season. And same goes for like Fairy Wind over Wing Attack. But yeah, you could definitely make a very similar team. I'll be showcasing a team on my channel with some Pokemon that I think are going to be really strong. But that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and have a great rest of your day.